And there's a shot earlier of the Rockets preparing for action. And welcome everyone to another presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. Along with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. A quick check now at the starting lineups for both teams. First for the Warriors, Steph Curry's out there with Klay Thompson. And at the center position, a 6'11" banger out of the Republic of Georgia, Zaza Pachulia. And it's Durant, and it's Green in at the 4 slot. And for the Rockets, Chris Paul is out there with Harden. A big game for this young man making his NBA debut. Then it's Trevor Ariza, and it's Anderson in at the 4.
Houston might have made the playoffs in the West last season, guys, but it wasn't because they were beating up on their peers. They were 24-28 against the rest of the West. That's why they got the 8th seed.
You remember the Rockets last year when they were playing a lot of teams in the West near the end of the regular season. That was when they slipped, Steve, out of the 6th seed range, got to number 8.
Well, of course, the West was really strong last year, Kevin, so it makes sense that you're going to struggle a little bit against all those good teams. But Houston ended up being the only team in the West to make the playoffs with a sub-500 record against the rest of the conference. And there's the first bucket of the game.
Yeah, that's a nice tone setter out of the gate.
Green kicks to Curry. Money from the wing.
And he's someone the defense has to keep track of at all times because, even when he doesn't have the ball, he moves so well without it. He's constantly a threat to catch and shoot.
Very true. What I noticed with him is his ability to jump on teams right out of the break. I mean, he doesn't need a ton of shots to get going. He's locked in by nature.
This team going to take a big swing. Clark, if the D continues to clear out like that and give up easy dunks.
Yeah, that's the kind of defense we expect to see in a blowout, Kevin, or even an exhibition game, not a close game like this.
Look how frustrated Steve is over there.
Well, you know what, come on, I just like that he didn't choose to just lay it up there. I mean, he threw it down with force.
Durant, no good. Rockets have gone 2 or 3 here to start out the game. And Doris Burke spoke with Mark D'Antoni. Doris?
And my first question was, what's that playing against Kevin Durant? Probably the premier scorer in the entire league. He said, well, it starts with trying to keep the ball out of his hands. Because once he catches it, you're kind of at his mercy. Guys, Durant's so long, he can just shoot over the top. When he does get the ball, expect to see some double teams.
And as always, Doris, thank you. Pachulia, good.
They have got to put a body on him, because otherwise, with his agility and athleticism, they're not going to be able to contain him on the offensive glass.
Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession.
Way too loose on that inbounds pass.
Here's Green. He feeds it to Pachulia. Right side Curry. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
The Warriors made big strides last year, and part of it was a retooling of the team, but they also got a lot of help from the group of rookies that they had, and a number of those rookies played prominent roles down the stretch and in the playoffs.
Free throw good by Curry. Well, Clark, as you said, the Warriors did lean on their rookies as the season went on. 4 of them in all, with 3 coming in the draft and 1 walking on the roster. Big help, Steve, from them in the opening round of the playoffs.
Pretty remarkable that a team could do that well in the postseason, relying on so many rookies, but it speaks to their maturity, their character, the group they've put together, and it's very promising in terms of their long-term success. Well, this Warriors ownership group has really energized the franchise. They've been very proactive. They purchased the D-League team from Dakota, with plans to move them to Santa Cruz, about an hour south of Oakland. And in order to accommodate the team's home games, they built a new 3,000-seat arena in a matter of months.
And it's Paul penetrating, number 15. Warriors with the rebound. Here is Durant, and unable there to get the go-ahead bucket. Passes it to Paul. Fires the 3. That's good. Paul's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. And the Santa Cruz Warriors, as they've been renamed, have been a hit. Clark leading the D-League in revenue, making the D-League finals last season.
And with all of the D-League games now broadcast on YouTube, the exposure to players in the D-League is better than ever. And for the Warriors to have their D-League affiliate so close by gives them a much better opportunity to develop their young talent.
Thompson for three. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. Here is Harden. He's got 5. Just under 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Paul dishes to Harden. Back to Paul. Out of bounds. Golden State takes possession.
Where was he going with that pass? I mean, that's just an awful turnover.
Warriors trail by 4. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Green, the pass to Curry. Can't get it to go. Good D by Harden. The Rockets have gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%. Paul for 3. No up. So Golden State will take it the other way. Outside, Green. Thompson outside. Now the feed to Pachulia. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
Well, I think the defense got lucky right there. I mean, he's going to make a lot more of those than he misses when he's got that much room.
The basket drops, so he gets 5 in the shot. 1 free throw, time is up.
How about that play? Great body control. Still manages to finish the play despite the contact.
You know, when that whistle blows, you're not done. Get greedy and find a way to knock it down. You know, the Rockets turned a lot of heads last season, guys, as they got back into the playoffs after missing out the year before. A big part of that was how they played at home. They were very tough to beat in Houston.
And the Rockets, as you said, Clark, strong at home, and that can be seen in that record of 29-12. Just the kind of home record, Steve, you need to get into the playoffs.
And it was the way the Rockets played that was so impressive, Kevin. They attack the rim, and then they kick out and bomb a ton of threes. And I think that's the kind of attack, the kind of style that can really bring a friendly crowd and bring them to their feet. You know, I thought that the Houston fans got more and more animated as the season went on.
Now Harden. Trevor Ariza missing from long range. Number 15. The Warriors pull it in. Pachulia's got 4 rebounds in this game.
Right from the start, they've been aggressive on the glass. Most of the rebounds seem to be going their way.
And, Steve, I think they are ready for the fight today.
Harden outside from the arc. Warriors with the rebound. Pachulia's got 5 rebounds tonight. Here's Curry with the 3. Count the bucket. Curry's got 7 points in the game.
D there, guys, was pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can't leave a good shooter like that open.
Paul outside. They get a hand on it. Right side Curry. Thompson with it. Chris Paul covering. And out of bounds as the Rockets gain possession.
Severe lack of awareness on his part. He had no idea he was near the out-of-bounds line.
Houston's gotten just 2 of 6 to fall from 3-point range so far in the first. Here's Ariza. Nice D from Durant.
Difficult shot from mid-range, and the defense was all over him.
Boy, I like the close out there, Steve. Well done.
Green with the ball. Now defended by Anderson. Tries to keep it alive. They get it back. Pachulia. Offensive rebound. Tries yet again. No good. That would have tied it.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
Harden inside the 3-point line. No good. Great D that time from Green. Durant for 3. And Paul pulls it down. Houston in the lead. They push it up 4 on 3. 13 feet away. And he recovers it. Can't connect from short range.
He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter.
Paul with the steal. A finish. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. And a 3-point play chance here. The Rockets have made their only other free throw attempt today in an earlier trip to the line. David West, he's checked in for Golden State. Free throw drops for Ariza.
You know, when you get an influx of talent through the draft like the Rockets did prior to last season, the initial reaction is excitement, but then you think about, man, how are we going to get these guys ready to play NBA basketball? And the Rockets did a nice job by taking it easy and bringing them along slowly.
And so here is Golden State. It's a 5-point game. And for the Rockets, you look at how that strategy worked out for them, and it was exactly what they needed. Got off to a quick start last year. And, you know, Steve, toward the end, their rookies were fresh and able to contribute when it mattered most.
You know, Kevin, it's hard for fans to see a player get drafted and not immediately see the floor, but a lot of times that's the best route. You know, you give a player time to adjust, you make him earn it, and by the end of the season, he can be a very effective player. I think plenty of the Rockets players proved that last season.
First one falls for him.
Well, you look at the turnaround last season for Golden State. A lot of it has to do with the steadying presence of Jarrett Jack and Carl Landry off the bench. Both players brought a toughness and a level of competitiveness that was maybe missing from the Warriors the year before.
So he gets them both. And for the Warriors, such an impressive turnaround last season, but financial constraints, you know, Clark, make it tricky for them, make it tricky for anybody. Keep teams together.
Well said, but I give the ownership credit for making the commitments necessary to put themselves in a good position going forward, Kevin. After such an impressive postseason showing, I think they want to continue that momentum.
And up the court come the Warriors on the break.
Second foul of the first quarter. They're probably going to have to sit him down here to try to avoid number 3.
You know, it's very rare that you're going to be able to make the playoffs in the West without coming out with a winning record against the rest of the conference. And the Warriors knew that would be important in their quest for the playoffs, and they handled business against the West.
The first free throw is good. Oh, and for the Warriors who fought so hard to get back into the playoffs, last year their 28-24 record against the rest of the West really helped their cause, Steve.
Well, the toughest part of the Warriors' last campaign was a rough stretch of games in February where they dropped off a bit in the race. And you know, a lot of those games were against Western teams, and if you kind of remove that month, their in-conference record is even more impressive.
And both free throws good for Curry.
Steady work at the free throw line. Just what we're used to seeing out of him.
Ariza kicks to Harden. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Harden's got 7 points.
He's very savvy in traffic. When he gets inside, has a kind of an uncanny way of shielding himself from contact and finding a way to finish at the rim.
And Steve, he's earned a nickname that's familiar to anybody that's followed basketball, the microwave. There's no slow build-up with him. All he needs is one shot to go down, and it can set him off, turn him into a scoring machine. He cooks with gas, not electricity.
West. And the defense didn't have position. They whistle a blocking foul, and he'll go to the line. The Warriors shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here.
And this club shot 77% as a team last year. Good, not spectacular, but solid.
And you can't take those numbers lightly, fellas. I mean, their free throw shooting made a difference for them in a lot of their games last season.
And the first one at the line is good. Different look here for the Warriors. No good. Rockets shooting just 35% to start the game. Nene kicks to Gordon. Green. Here's Tucker. No good. Some solid defense from McGee. And even 3-on-3 break. Shot's good by Iguodala. And that'll tie this game up.
Not trying to rattle any rims or racks there. Just up and in with the finger roll.
Gordon against Young. Back to Green. Backs down. Makes it off the glass. And the Rockets lead by 2.
And that kind of power move has become a trademark for him.
Livingston kicks to Iguodala. Trying his luck deep. And then he pulls it in. Now Brown. A three-pointer, no good.
That's a shot you've got to take if you're looking for the three-pointer. I mean, the defense was nowhere around.
Kicks it to McGee. From 13. Here's Iguodala. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Yeah, the referee's all over that one.
No doubt about it. Clearly a foul. Nothing to argue about there.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. That free throw missing. Second free throw, good. Now here's Gordon. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Nene with the screen on Young. Green left side. And the rebound goes to the Warriors.
Looked like he rushed that one, guys. The defense was out of position. He was wide open. Just didn't take advantage.
Boy, I tell you what, guys, he's an extremely strong finisher. I'm surprised he wasn't able to power that through the defense.
Brown, good.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
Livingston gets a screen from McGee. Takes a shot at the elbow. Shot's good.
Such a difficult shot to defend, that turnaround.
Houston in the lead. Brown outside. Green. Oh, drew the foul and almost hit the three-point bucket. But he'll go to the line to shoot 3. They get Andre Iguodala. For Houston, they have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both. Free throw drops for Green. Black's checked in for Nene. He hits the second from the line. And he nails the third. 1:41 left to play in the first quarter. Livingston kicks to McGee. Iguodala left side. Iguodala left side. Another miss by Iguodala. Rockets leading by 4. Gordon off a pick from Black. From outside, off the mark.
Not much of a pick there. Unless you're going to get a body on somebody, you're really not going to free anybody up for a shot.
Here's Iguodala. Here's the rebound. He dishes it to Livingston. Young outside. Golden State moving it around. Here's McGee. And he rolls that one in. Sinking right through off the back iron.
Every once in a while, he'll kind of step out of his role and give you something like that.
Brown dishes to Gordon. Back to Brown. All sorts of time. And that one's good. And the Rockets lead by 4. Here is Livingston. 2-for-1 chance here.
Yeah, let's see if they use the clock to their advantage.
West defended by Tucker. Let's go. West misses. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Gordon kicks to Brown. They grab their own miss. Green passes to Gordon. There's the dish to Tucker. Back to Gordon. Outside, Green. From 13 feet, it goes down. Green's got 7 points in the game. And that concludes the first quarter of play. The Rockets on top. They lead by 6. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And looking at what we've seen from Houston, what do you guys think?
And the difference to this point has been defense. This club has really gotten after it, and that's what's gotten them this lead.
Well, there's nothing that's gone up that hasn't been contested so far.
Warriors trail by 6. Cook dishes to Iguodala. Turner with his 3.
And he's having all sorts of problems with his shot.
I'm not sure he even has a shot right now, Steve, to be quite honest. Not a reliable one anyway.
He kicks to Young. Stolen by Gordon. On the wing, Brown. Defended by Cook. And it's Brown missing.
Well, the shot was there for him, and he had to take it. I don't care if he didn't convert. He's got to take that every time.
Put that bucket in no time at all. And it's 6 points for Andre Iguodala.
He had to wait for a while, all the way until now. But he's finally got his first three-pointer of the game.
Green kicks to Brown. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own. And the Rockets lead by 6. Golden State's gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Iguodala, right side. Wide open look. Another miss by Iguodala.
It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start burying some of those.
And it's Iguodala again missing.
Well, I think he kind of alligator-armed that one. Short-stroked it. After doing a nice job to get open, he didn't finish the shot. Hit me, I'm open.
Bell with it. Now guarded by Brown. No problems knocking that one down. Cook's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
Boy, he made a nice little bounce pass there. We call that the pocket pass, and he did it well.
There's Green with the 3. Another miss by Houston. Warriors trail by 3. Young up top. He's guarded by Johnson. Here's West. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Kevin, it seems like scoring on the low post is kind of a lost art these days, but this guy can do it. I mean, he can get down on the block, get position, and he's got some skills to get the ball in the basket from that position.
And Steve, quite honestly, he is their muscle. I mean, the guy they rely on for some brute force when they need it is him. Finesse isn't the first word that comes to mind when you're talking about this guy.
And the Warriors making a change here. Pachulia is checked in. And both free throws good for West. And we're about 2 minutes into the second quarter here. Outside, Green. Feeds to Johnson. Defended by Bell. Kicks it out to Gordon. Paul outside. From past the arc. Gets it to go. Paul's got 9.
The defenders need to talk to each other. The communication lacking there on that three-pointer.
Warriors trail by 4. West off the pick from Pachulia. On the pass to Young. The 3. Here's Bell. Some solid defense there from Brown.
That was a layup. And you've got to knock that down. You've got to convert when you get those opportunities.
Paul. And he gets it to go. Hitting off the back of the rim. Paul's got 5 points now this quarter. Golden State's gone 2 of 4 from three-point range so far in the second quarter. Cook kicks to Bell. Pass to Cook. Some nice passing by Golden State here. Pachulia dishes to Cook. 5 on the clock.
Already he's looking at his third foul. I think the coach will probably look to sit him down until the third quarter.
In a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for the Rockets.
Now, they didn't waste any time getting into a groove out there. They're dialed in from long range.
They're crashing the offensive glass hard, too. I mean, they've dropped in several second-chance baskets.
That's good from Cook.
This is the way to stay in the game. They're doing a masterful job from the line right here.
Andre Iguodala is checked in for David West. He hits both from the stripe. Rockets leading by 4. Paul a screen on Young. Paul with the screen for Gordon. Green fires for 3. Gets rebounded by Cook.
Even though he isn't having the best of games from the floor, it hasn't seemed to hurt him.
Young passes to Iguodala. Tries a 3. Offensive rebound.
That's purely a hustle play there. Getting to the offensive glass for the tip in, well done.
And that's, a quality you see any strong offensive rebounder possess. And we saw it right there.
Yeah, it's the anticipation more than anything. It's understanding where that ball is going before anybody else on the floor does.
And Young, here we go. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. Chris Paul picks up that one. And that one falls for Young. And the Rockets making a change here. And it's tied up with that one. The Rockets have gone just 33% from the field in what's been a cold second quarter for them. Just 3 of 9. Gordon kicks to Johnson. Gordon. Blocked. Here is Cook. He's got 5. He passes to Iguodala. Hands it from downtown. Iguodala's got 6 here in this quarter. And a chance now to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for the Warriors.
Well, Kevin, in the first half of play, they're really closing out aggressively, blocking shots, a key indicator of their activity defensively.
They also came out of the locker room with their running shoes on. I mean, their transition game has been full throttle.
Looking at who's out there now for the Warriors. West comes in for Bell. And Kevin Durant is subbed in for Nikolai. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Great job. Taking it right at the defense. I like the aggressiveness.
Yeah, he left them no choice but to foul there.
For Houston, they have been good at the line so far, 5 of 5. That free throw good from Gordon. And Gordon drops them both. The Warriors leading. Iguodala with a screen on Gordon. Got freed up. Nice work off the pick. Cook's got 7 points for the quarter.
Boy, Iguodala did a good job setting that screen.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones a long time without a basket.
They got to find something, you're right.
Well, he took that defender head on and threw down the two-hander power jam.
Straight power there, guys.
Well, you got to love his determination.
Golden State's gotten half their shots from three-point range to go down in the second quarter. 3 of 6 from downtown. Durant kicks to Cook. That's good. And a nice assist from Durant. Cook's got 10 points.
He's really starting to ramp it up now, getting involved in the offense here after being held without a point in the first.
Dishes it to Johnson. And they come right back with their own three-pointer.
Right back at you. They immediately get those 3 points back.
Trading punches, that's how you answer.
Golden State's gone 4-7 on three-point shots in the second quarter. Pass to Iguodala. He feeds it to Durant. Back to Iguodala. Golden State moving the ball around. Gets it to go. 13 points in the game.
A great second quarter here after a difficult first. I'd say they knocked the rust off. Sometimes it takes a little while before you get the blood flowing and you find your rhythm.
Brings the dishes to Johnson. On the wing, Harden. To come right back with the three of his own. It's no good.
They've been strong on the boards. There's no disputing that.
That's what the box score says. Still anybody's game there.
And they will get the basket here, folks, as they rule goaltender.
He thought he had that one clean, but the ref saw it differently. They'll count the basket.
And the crowd immediately letting the officials have it after that whistle.
A very unpopular call there.
Klay Thompson, he's checked in for Golden State. Rockets trail by 6. Ariza with it. 5 points in the game. Outside Gordon. On the wing, Harden. Fires from deep. Gets it to go. Harden's got 10 points in the game.
Boy, they're knocking down the long-range shots. A lot of those same shots they missed earlier in the first quarter. They still find themselves down here, but they're starting to make some headway into that deficit.
And here is Durant. James Harden getting it to go from deep. Back the pass to Harden. It's rebounded by Durant. Durant's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Durant with another miss. Oh, and a fast break for the Rockets. Here's Ariza. The shot no good. And it's the Warriors taking it the other way. Pachulia kicks to Cook. Outside Durant. Sinks the three-pointer. Durant's got 5 points now this quarter.
That's far too good a look to give them from behind the arc.
Well, that's 3 of the last 5 makes, having been behind the three-point line. So, got to make some adjustments defensively.
Up again. Slams it home for the putback.
He sniffed out that board and then powered it back in.
Pure Mike Clark, so strong going back up with that one.
That's exactly what he's capable of, guys. So strong.
Ariza covering. Passes it to Cook. The feed to Pachulia. It's rebounded by Black. Rockets trail by 4. Harden dishes to Ariza. The shot goes in as the ref calls the blocking foul. He's on his way to the free throw line.
Guys, that time you went for the fancy finish for us there, man. That was sweet.
This is his second attempt at the line tonight. Draymond Green, he's checked in for David West. Golden State's gone outside a lot tonight. 17 times, in fact. 7 of 17. Durant kicks to Curry. Plenty of room to knock down the shot. Curry's got 11.
And they've set up countless buckets off assists. That's a huge part of what they've been doing here today.
A lot of dime dropping going on out there, Steve.
Now here's Gordon. It's Ariza on the wing. With the fadeaway. No good off the front iron.
Now you can see why the defense is willing to let him take that shot. That's really not his range.
Thompson for 3. Gets it to go. Now it's a 6-point Warrior lead.
You know, that's one way he can finish, but not the only way. He's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve.
Gordon goes in. Harden outside. And it's blocked by Pachulia. But he stays with it. Here's Harden. And he overshot that one, missing.
I tell you what, folks. I bet he won't miss that shot next time he takes it.
Curry kicks to Green. Here's Durant. And that one is hammered home.
Excellent work on the offensive boards.
Went after that rebound hard and quickly turned it into a putback jam. Beautiful work.
And those are the types of plays that have put them in front in this game.
That's good. Johnson's got 5 points in the quarter. Warriors leading by 6. Kicks to Thompson. And the shot falls short this time.
Yeah, that's a low percentage shot right there.
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, he's got to be thinking out there a little better. Make the pass in that situation. Don't force a bad shot.
David West, he's checked in for the Warriors. Here's Harden on the wing. Wide open. That's good. Harden's got 12. And here is Durant. 7 points in the game. Back to West. Thompson, left side. The shot's good on the assist by West.
Boy, after having a tough time in the first, he's managed to turn it around nicely this quarter.
Thompson against Harden. He dishes it to Ariza. The tray. And that is good. He's got 11.
It was a slow start for him, but he started to take off since we hit the second quarter, guys.
Green, the pass to Durant.
Hey, who's watching now?
1:30 left in the first half. This is his first free throw of the game.
And, of course, last year's superb free throw shooting, above 90%.
Guys, I thought he got into a groove last year at the charity stripe, and I thought he maintained it deep into the season as well.
First free throw is good.
Shooting 100% in the quarter. They've made them all, taking full advantage at the line.
Well, it's a nice job of really making the most of their opportunities.
Durant hits them both.
Well done again. He doesn't have the same problems at the line that plague some of the NBA's other big men.
There's the dish to Gordon. Inside, Curry with the steal. And here we go with Curry running it up the court. Anderson with the block. And it's Houston on the break. Gordon's running, gives him the lead pass. Number 15. It's rebounded by Curry. Curry's got his third rebound on the night. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
He is just tearing it up this quarter. That lead's not going anywhere while he's this hot.
That's good from Durant. Rockets trail by 8. Ariza outside. Number 15 hits the jumper. 46 seconds left in the first half of basketball. He kicks to Durant. Rockets with the rebound.
Question is, do they go 2 for 1 here?
Can they get a good shot in time? That's the question.
Warriors leading by 6. From deep, Green, and stolen by Gordon. Here's Ariza. It's rebounded by Golden State. Curry's got his 4th rebound in this one. Always going up with the alley-oop here, and Thompson throws it down.
And the lead just grows on that ridiculous offensive sequence.
You know, Clark, that dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Yeah, that just added more to it.
Yeah, what a beautiful connection on that play.
Here's Gordon. The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. Warriors lead by 8. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play.
Now, presented by Sprint.
And it's been a great game out in Houston. Thanks for joining us. A good one in progress for the Warriors. They've benefited from some excellent contribution from their bench, providing scoring in bunches when called upon. It's been a major advantage. Kevin Durant has not felt much resistance against this Houston defense. He has 12 points. He's been getting it done on both ends of the court. Look at the assists. Look at the rebounds. It's all adding up to a great first half. A tough matchup, but the Rockets are staying afloat. They'd like to forget that first half. Coach has not been happy with what he's seen out there, and they'll likely come out with major adjustments. A tough start for Eric Gordon. His shot isn't falling. He's been ice cold. That's it for me here in the studio. Time to send you back out to Kevin Harlan and the crew for the start of the third quarter.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And we welcome you back to the NBA here on 2K Sports. If you're just tuning in, this is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And we're ready to get going once more. And the players having a chance to have a short break and get some rest themselves and get refueled and hydrated with some Gatorade. More terrific basketball in store for us tonight. It's been a clinic from Cook.
Boy, he put on a show from the three-point line in the first half, didn't he? We'll see if the halftime break had any cooling effect on him.
Yeah, we'll soon find out because I guarantee they're going to keep feeding it to him behind the arc until he does cool off.
Rockets trail by 11. Feeds it to Ariza. With a three, and that one's good. Ariza's got 14 points for the game.
Well, with him, what immediately comes to mind is the long-range shooting. I mean, he can knock down shots from anywhere, and, of course, that forces the defense to locate him at all times.
I also think he might have played a little football, Steve, because he's excellent at intercepting passes. I mean, that seems to be his calling card defensively.
Chris Paul, he's checked in for Houston. Durant just inside the line, and the Warriors tack on two more. And so it's Houston with it, trailing by 10 on the wing. Harden. It's rebounded by Durant.
Well, an 8-rebound advantage like the one they have now is always going to swing the score hard in that team's direction.
And that's certainly been the case today. Their rebounding has made a huge difference. Up and in on every one of their first 3 shots to start the second half.
He's got his 4th free throw of the game. Here in this third quarter, just over a minute play. Ariza outside. Number 15, defended by Pachulia. The Rockets have been a perfect 8 of 8 at the line. And that one misses. Good on the second free throw. And so it's Golden State with it. Durant kicks to Green. There's the pass to Thompson. Back to Green. Outside Curry. Just fine on the clock. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
How about Steph Curry in this one? He's got 11 points and 2 steals as well.
Well, his offense has matched his defense today. He's been excellent on both ends.
Steve, exactly right. You can't say enough about the overall job he's been doing.
Free throw good by Curry. Eric Gordon, he's checked in for Houston. free throws good for Curry. Just over a minute and a half have passed here in the third quarter. Here's Harden. It's good from about 19 feet. Harden's got 14. Warriors leading by 12. Now Durant. 17 points in the game. Pass to Curry. There's the three. That's good. And a nice assist from Durant. 16 points for Steph Curry.
That's 4 straight from the field, guys. Off to a quick start this third quarter.
The Rockets have gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. Gordon kicks to Harden. Back to Gordon. Launches it. It's rebounded by Golden State.
You've got to give them a lot of credit for the job they've done on the backboard.
Well, they've done a lot of things right, but I agree with you, Clark. Their rebounding is right there at the top of the list.
Now, here's Thompson. 6 on the shot clock. Outside, Green. High post try, and there are the Warriors now with another bucket.
And a blazing start to the second half. They've hit all 5 shots.
Here's the screen. Gordon for 3. It's rebounded by Golden State. Green's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
Trailing here in the game, you can look at his performance as a direct indicator of why they're losing.
Now here's Durant. Pachulia guarded by Harden. The drive by Green. Another shot. Pachulia, good. Pachulia's got his 2nd bucket of the game to go. And the Rockets making a change here. Green's checked in. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter. Ariza. They need this. Solid defense there from Pachulia. Warriors leading by 19 points. Green inside the three-point line. That doesn't go either for Green.
You know, that mid-range jump shot is not his strong suit, even when he gets a good look like that.
Shoots the 3, and Green with the basket on the assist by Harden. Green's got 10 points in the game.
You know what, guys? He can really light it up from the perimeter at times.
Anderson against Green. Thompson dishes to Green. That doesn't go either for Green. Rockets have gone 3 of 7 on field goal attempts here in the second half. And another 3 for Houston.
A wide open 3. They need much better communication defensively.
Now a timeout called by Golden State.
Yeah, he's trying to take the wind out of their sails here. I mean, they're on the wrong end of a bad run. They got to sort things out.
I think things were very close to spiraling out of control if he didn't burn one there.
Warriors leading by 13. He passes to Thompson. Pachulia kicks to Durant. Dishes it to Green. Curry drops in the tray. Curry's got 19 points.
What are they thinking leaving him with all that space out there? Do they not know? Have they not heard that this guy is unbelievable? That's a layup for him.
Now here's Ariza. He's got 14.
Their rebounding has been off the charts today, guys. Reason number 1, this game is out of hand.
Exactly. I mean, the score is right where you'd expect it to be when the battle on the boards is that lopsided.
And the Warriors making a change here. McGee's checked in. Rockets trail by 16. Now here's Green. 13 points in the game. And here's Henderson from the arc. Rebound by JaVale McGee. McGee's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Durant, the pass to Green. The basket good off the assist from Durant. Durant's got 5 assists in the game.
The defense has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
Well, I'd like to know how many of their attempts have come from inside 5 feet. It seems like everything is right at the rim.
Harden inside the three-point line. Connects the jumper drops. Harden's got 4 points this quarter. Warriors leading by 16. Durant kicks to McGee. Green, a 3-ball, another 3 for Golden State.
We're seeing him bring that shooting percentage up now, guys. The first half was a struggle for him.
Outside, Green. Curry meets him. And here's Anderson from the arc. And that one's good. Anderson's got himself on the board with 3 there.
Great opportunity right there. He's got such tremendous length. He can just rise up and get separation for the 3.
Green with the ball. Now guarded by Anderson. Thompson off the pick from Durant. Thompson misses.
Couldn't convert, but nice little two-man game there.
And it wouldn't surprise me to see them go back to that the next trip.
They'd love to get more of those, the easiest 2 points possible. And on a fierce finish.
Yeah, and that's exactly how they're going to cut into the lead, Kevin.
Yeah, that's why they've got to tighten up their D. And I'd be surprised if the defense allows any more free runs to the hoop like that.
Chris Paul, he's checked in for Gerald Green. All right, well, look at how the hustle game has been going for the Warriors.
I thought we might see a little defensive adjustment at halftime, but the fast break continues to be effective.
The number of second chance points they've gotten is also impressive. I mean, they've kept so many possessions alive with offensive rebounds.
Now here's Durant. He's got 17. Outside, Green. Pass to McGee. Back to Green. Lets it go from deep. Another 3 for Golden State.
He's flipped the script here in this half, shooting a much higher percentage from the field.
And here are the Rockets now. A ways to get back into it, but they've got some time.
He is to avoid mistakes and make each possession count.
Yeah, and I think the tendency can be to really rush or push the game a little bit. I think they need to avoid that.
And the basket good. 14 points for Chris Paul.
Well, as for them being behind in this game, you certainly can't put any of it on his shoulders. He's been tremendous offensively.
Here comes Stephen Curry. He's got 19. He feeds it to Thompson. 9 feet out, and it's Golden State with another. P.J. Tucker, he's checked in for Houston. Rockets trail by 15. Paul dishes to Tucker. Passes it to Harden. Leads him in there. And he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
Up high and down hard with the one-hand.
Got a little extra forceful with that one, didn't he?
I think he's hoping to kind of get his teammates going a little bit, fellas.
Here's Green, following the score by Houston. The feed now to McGee. Back to Green. Lets the 3 fly. He's back up. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. He misses the free throw, and the Rockets making a change here. And he sinks the second. Rockets trail by 14. Paul kicks it to Tucker. Back to Paul. Lets it go with the 3. Rebound by JaVale McGee. McGee's got 5 rebounds tonight. Tipped away. And so it looks like the Warriors will retain possession here. Pachulia, he's checked in for JaVale McGee. Rockets on defense. It's a 14-point game. And Durant, here we go. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle on a lot of contact there. That one is on a reason.
Durant doing all sorts of things. He has 17 points and 5 assists. He is in complete control of this game.
Yeah, it's just going his way. Everything falling into place.
That's good from Durant. Steph Curry's checked in for the Warriors. Durant hits them both. Rockets trail by 16. Here is Harden. 16 points for him. Ariza outside. Harden kicks to Paul. Hits it from three-point line. Paul's got 17.
You know, he's knocking down his shots today, but it hasn't really translated to the scoreboard yet.
Warriors leading by 13. Curry outside. Can't get it to go.
Boy, I'm shocked he didn't make that one. He usually knocks that one down with ease.
Here's Ariza. The putback. Follow-up flip.
Was there any doubt what he was going to do with that putback? Flush it down.
Oh, that's some energy we just witnessed right there.
And that's the kind of energy you need on the offensive glass. That's the only way to get it done.
Here is Livingston. Back to Curry. Beyond the arc. The shot misses.
Boy, just by his body language, Kevin, you can tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Yeah, a little frustrated now, shaking his head after that miss.
Livingston passes to Curry. They recover it. That drops. And that's now 21 points for Kevin Durant.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
Paul with the screen for Harden. And he comes off the screen and slams it through.
Boy, they ran a nice play there, Kevin, to set up the easy dunk.
Yeah, he got help from his teammate and ran his man right straight into the pick.
Yep, and that's the offensive player's job. Run him into the screen.
And it was a great pick, too, plus. Meaning he may have lowered his shoulder a little bit, but he got him pretty clean.
And the Warriors making a change here. Thompson's checked in. For Houston, they have shot 10 of 11 at the line. Nice work so far for them.
Well, you look at the numbers, Kevin. Last year they were around 71% from the line as a team, so not a very good number there.
Yeah, as a group, really a dismal year for them from the line last season, guys.
Here's Pachulia. Buries it from about 10 feet away. Pachulia's got 4 points this quarter.
They haven't been as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. They're playing smart with the lead. I like that. They're being very selective and deliberate in their offense. And that's a good strategy when you're on top.
And yes, sir, that one drops.
You can see that they're not as aggressive from the three-point arc. They had far more attempts in the first half.
Curry with it. And it's Harden picking him up. Curry kicks to Thompson. He dishes it to Green. Oh, a fast break for the Rockets. Stolen by Thompson. Kicks to Livingston. The dish to Green. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Rockets trail by 10. Here's Ariza. He gets it to fall. That makes it just a single-digit lead. Ariza's got 20 points.
That's a weapon they've been allowed to use at will today, Steve.
I'll say the defense has been ineffective trying to run shooters off that three-point line.
Misses off the left iron. And for Houston, they're shooting 43% from the field. Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession. Kevin Durant's checked in for Draymond Green. .41 seconds left to play in the third. Durant against Anderson. Durant dishes to Thompson.
Just for a foul, and I'm sure he picked it up a little earlier than he would have liked.
And he's knocked off course by the D. The foul called. He'll shoot free throws. That one is on Ariza. That free throw good from Thompson. JaVale McGee's checked in for Golden State. And he makes both free throws. Rockets trail by 9. Shot and game clock separated by 5. Paul passes to Ariza. And the bucket counts. He is on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a three-point play. And this is his 4th trip to the free throw line tonight. Free throw drops for Ariza. 19 seconds left to play in the 3rd. Green kicks to Curry. It's Durant on the wing, guarded by Harden. And there's a whistle. That's going to go on James Harden. That's his 3rd foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2. Good from Durant. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. 8 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Harden kicks to Paul. He could go. What a play! Simply drains it in at the buzzer.
Kevin, that's a timely three-pointer. You've got to keep it within reach going into the 4th. They can still come back.
And that does it for the 3rd quarter. Both teams clicking offensively as we approach the 4th quarter. Warriors ahead, up by 5. And we're coming right back. Be sure to stay with us as we get started for the 4th quarter. We welcome you back to what has been a good one here as we get into the 4th quarter. Rockets trail by 5. Harden outside, from outside the arc. The shot is off, so Golden State will take it the other way. Earlier in the game, they had a 19-point lead.
Boy, you wonder what the score of this game would be if they weren't pulling down all these rebounds.
Love what I'm seeing from them in the paint.
The first one falls. The Rockets making a switch here. Green's checked in. And both free throws good for Curry. And for Houston, they're shooting 43% from the floor. Harden against Thompson. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
We watched a great quarter by Harden. 19 points, and what a game he's had passing the ball, too.
Yeah, to watch him spread the ball around, get everybody involved is a thing of beauty.
No good on that one. Nene, he's checked in for Houston. And he's good on the second. Warriors leading by 6. Green with the ball. He kicks it to Curry. D by Harden. Here's Houston now. The drive by Paul. The Warriors pull it in. McGee's got 6 rebounds in the game. Green with a screen on Green. Open shot, Green, and he connects on the jumper. The screen did the trick. Green's got 15 points here in the second half. Now Harden. Just over a minute played here in the fourth. Feeds it to Nene. Green. Drains the three-point. And here is Curry. Timeout called the Warriors.
Yeah, and guys, I think he feels like he can make a few improvements during this timeout. Just kind of make a couple of adjustments, get his club back on track.
You know, coaches are always tweaking and tinkering with things mid-game. Actually, sometimes they overdo it.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Kevin, during that last break, I heard the Warriors coach as he addressed his team. He told the players, let's put our foot on them and keep them down. We've got them exactly where we want them. I want to see you guys slow the pace, use the clock, and stay away from any silly fouls.
Green with a screen for Curry. Fires top of the key. Right through the cylinder that time, all net. Curry's got 4 points in the quarter.
Great job of utilizing that screen and finding space to knock down the jumper. Good basketball.
Boy, look at the rebound totals. He is absolutely dominating out there.
Well, that's been something to watch. My goodness.
Well, it's been a tale of two halves, hasn't it, guys? After a terrible first half, he's really picking it up.
Harden kicks the ball. And there's the call on the net. That's his first foul. And the Rockets making a change here. Second minute off the clock now in the fourth. Thompson dishes to Pachulia. Can't get it to fall.
Hey, the defense was right there, just waiting, doing a nice job of anticipating that play.
Steve, every team needs tough interior defense to be successful. Now that's finishing your work right there.
Powerful two-hand, Jim. You're right.
If he's got a few more of those in him, this lead will really start shrinking.
Poked away. Stolen by Harden. And a strong finish with two hands.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
Guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
Warriors leading by 6. Outside, Green. Now Pachulia. They kick it out to Green. Now the pass to Pachulia. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. The free throw drops for Pachulia. And Pachulia drops them both. And so it's Houston with it. Fourth quarter keeps moving right along. 3 minutes gone so far. Stolen by Durant. And now here's Durant, the fast break opportunity. And it's Thompson with the jam.
Punches it down with pop.
Rubs it in. It looks like a little deeper with the hanging finish.
Well, they're not backing off at all, are they?
Rockets trail by 10. Paul kicks to Harden. Number 15 defended by Pachulia. And there's the call on Pachulia. That's his 4th foul of the contest. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3 minutes gone here in the 4th quarter. The shot's good from Paul.
Boy, he's lighting it up from long range this half, really taking advantage of the defense.
Now here's Curry. Curry gets the screen from Green. Thompson inside the line. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in.
And he came off that screen. The defense just couldn't get over the top. Beautiful play.
Yep, and without a hand in his face, he's going to bury those.
Here's Harden on the wing. And the rebound goes to the Warriors.
Nice little lead they're enjoying here, and they deserve it with all the work they put in on the glass.
Yeah, big margin for them in the rebounding department. They've completely dominated the boards here.
Outside for Curry. Pass to Pachulia. And it's good. Fought through contact, hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
There's been a change in this game compared to what we saw in the first half. I mean, he's scoring with a lot of confidence now.
And that one misses. Rockets trail by 11. Paul with the ball. And Curry picks him up defensively. Shoots. And that one goes long.
Well, that was not a smart play there. That's a wild shot. They can get something better.
No, that's not smart basketball. He should have passed that shot up.
Now here's Curry after the miss from Klay Thompson. The second chance effort. Green, no luck. Rockets have gone 4-10 here in the final period. Not the time to go cold. Paul. Green with the block. 3-on-3. Here's Durant. And again, no good by Golden State. Houston's gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. Ariza passes to Harden. He squares up and sinks it. Harden's got 12 points here in the second half. Warriors leading by 9. Green kicks to Curry. Back to Green. And it's the Warriors with the ball. And the basket by Curry.
This guy's really flowing with his stroke right now. He hit one earlier, and now he has 3 in this half.
Rockets trail by 12. Harden outside.
Well, one more, and that's it. He'll be DQ'd, disqualified. He's got to be able to defend without picking up that last disqualifying foul.
Come on, Harden, let's go!
That free throw, no good. He hits the second from the line. Here's Curry. This is to Durant. Warriors the rebound. Curry with it. Chris Paul covering. Durant the pass to Pachulia. The shot will not go. Rockets trail by 11. Pass to Anderson. He feeds it to Paul. And it's blocked by Pachulia. Anderson against Thompson. Shoots from 14. That is good. Thompson's got 6 points in the quarter.
And his shots are dropping right now. This quarter has been very kind to him.
Ariza kicks to Harden. The Rockets with another miss. Warriors leading by 13. They double-team Curry. And the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball. And so it's Golden State with it. And here's Green outside. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession. Houston's gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. Here's Harden. And he makes the first. Both good from the line that time.
He's simply just willing himself to the line here.
Curry with it. Durant against Ariza. Inside leader, and the rejection by Ariza. Ariza gets a screen from Anderson. Call for 3. Can't hit, and it's the Warriors taking it the other way. Green with a screen for Durant. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Yeah, the referee's all over that one.
No doubt about it. Clearly a foul. Nothing to argue about there.
And the first one drops. Durant hits them both. Rockets trail by 13. Ariza with it. Guarded now by Durant. Harden outside. Jacks up a 3. It's hauled in by Kevin Durant. Durant's got 8 rebounds in this game. It's Thompson off the drive. Right through the D for the layup. Thompson's got 12 points in just the second half.
Yeah, they're going to need some help there defensively. That matchup is going to be a tough one to deal with.
Harden dishes to Ariza. And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back.
You know, since halftime, he's been hesitant with the ball in his hands. First half, he was flawless with his decision-making, but not so here in the second.
Here is Durant. Up top, Curry. Back to Durant. Lets it go. Cannot hit. Good D by Ariza. Houston's on a disappointing 2 of 6 on 3-point attempts here in the fourth. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
Looking at the numbers for Trevor Ariza, 25 points, and he's got 9 points from behind the arc.
Yeah, that's been an important part of his game today. He's made his open looks.
Free throw drops for Ariza. Ariza hits them both. Warriors leading by 13. Thompson right side. Curry kicks to Thompson. Passes to Pachulia. Back to Thompson. And it's wide right. It's off the rim. The Rockets shooting in the fourth quarter down around 31%. Not playing with as much energy here lately. Here's Ariza. They get it back. And he drops in the layup off the glass. And that's a double-double for him now. 11 points and 17 rebounds. Warriors shooting about 43% here in the fourth quarter. Ariza against Durant. Outside Curry. Jim shot on the way. Here's Green. And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup. And while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call a foul shot or not. But sure enough, they have. So we've got a couple of free throws coming up. He's off on the first. And the second free throw, good. So it's the Rockets now. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Here's Harden. Goes back up. And it's good on the way.
Still a close game here, though. That's surprising considering they're rarely grabbing any rebound.
Timeout called the Warriors. That is surprising, Clark. It's difficult to be in a game when you can't rebound.
But, Kevin, they're still in it. They still are in it. I can't believe that they've had so much trouble with the boards. We'll see if they can hang in there a little longer.
Yeah, I can't believe it either. Warriors leading by 10. Outside Durant, Thompson. Guarded by Harden. The shot is off. Houston now, time running out. Paul for three. That's rebounded by Pachulia. Pachulia's got rebound number 19 now. Incredible board work. Outside Durant. Takes the three. Harden grabs the miss. Harden's got rebound number 8 now on the night. Ariza with the box. Golden State's gone 2 of 5 on three-point shots since the end of the third quarter. The feed to Harden. Launches a three. Green with the rebound.
He had a couple on the first, but so far he's been unable to get uncorked here.
He dishes it to Pachulia. Back to Green. Outside Curry. Stolen by Harden. Number 15 and by Green. Off target at the rim. The Warriors shooting at 44%. Pretty reasonable. He passes it to Pachulia. He's against Anderson. Shot from 6. And the shot is good. And the Warriors lead by 10.
And the crowd here, of course, not happy about the outcome. But you know what? We saw a team tonight that came in prepared to do battle on the road, and they clearly wanted to win.
You know, they were determined to steal this game, and they showed it, Steve. Played harder and got the job done.
There's 49 seconds left to play in the final quarter. To the middle, number 15. So he gets the whistle, contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. Pachulia, and so he's picked up his final foul, and he will sit for the rest of this game. And the Warriors with a completely new 5 on the floor. And that hurts as he doesn't get the first one to fall. Trying to focus now on the second. Houston with a big group substitution here. Joe Johnson, he's checked in for Anderson. P.J. Tucker comes in for Trevor Ariza. Gerald Green, he's checked in for James Harden. And it's Brown in for Chris Paul. And he can't get the second one to drop either. Coming up empty that time. Here is Livingston. 35 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Young off a pick from Bell. And Nick Young good for three.
They didn't take their time wrapping this game up. They pretty much did it in a hurry.
Yeah, they had a nice spurt to polish this one off.
And the Rockets making a change here. Nene is checked in. Seconds left in the fourth. Green. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good. Here is Livingston. Clark, and they can just let the clock run out here.
No argument with that W.
Kicks it to Young. The dish now to Livingston. Feeds it to Cook. Golden State moving the ball around. They get it back. And there's the bucket. Staying with it on the offensive glass, getting it done.
And that puts a cherry on top, so to speak, of what's been a phenomenal showing for them.
All over but the lining now, Steve.
So we see the Warriors taking the game here. And this one was such a lopsided victory.
They never let up. They were full throttle from the start.
And that about wraps it up for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA presented by 2K Sports. And now, Jordan presents our player of the game, Kevin Durant.